why you should improve your brain. Now listen, your brain is literally like the most important organism, muscle function. And I'm going to take you through why or when I started improving my brain. And it's difficult to improve your brain when your brain already has been impacted so much to a point where it almost feels as though there's no hope, there's no coming back, there's no improving it. Like, when you feel so down emotionally to a point where like you feel like there's no return, there's no coming back from how far I've come after doing all the negative things that have compounded to put you or me in the specific situation we are in now. So I vividly remember when I was in, and I I always say vividly, but I vividly remember being in primary school, and I could tell my brain, looking back now anyway, my brain was definitely in a bad spot, and I didn't know what to do to fix it. I didn't know there was a platform that I could use like Google and just research. There probably wasn't even enough like sufficient amount of information on how to improve your brain. I was literally deemed as a child that had ADHD, attention deficit, uh, hyperact hyperactivity or something disorder, adhesive adhesive disorder, hyper. I genuinely, I don't even know what it is, but I had ADHD, and apparently that's what the teacher said, and they wanted me to take the medicines. Well, my mum, of course, very wise and intelligent, knew that from past stories, other kids taking this damaged them and made them worse. Rather, tackling the root cause, like upbringing, environmental factors, friends, diet. So I'm grateful to my mum for that reason, for never allowing me to take those pills. And the teachers, how sad, how ignorant for you to just assume someone has a disorder, and then you prescribe, you allow, or you set up a meeting or whatever, like you propose that we should get me checked by a doctor to see if I have ADHD. Is quite absurd, especially at a young age, when there are other steps to fixing this issue. But most like, and I hate saying this because I don't want to like seem like I'm picking or like pinpointing certain like areas, certain people's areas of expertise. Like, I understand if you're a doctor or a nurse, or like you've worked hard to get to where you are, and for me to just sit here and diminish your job just because you're not like giving the right advice, it does seem a bit harsh, but the harsh reality is that most of the advice that these public sector um, trained specialists, most of the advice they give us are just useless, literally useless. Giving us a prescription drug that has 20 different ingredients, that 19, 18 of them I can't even pronunciate. I can't even pronunciate it. And I'm a young child developing. These these ingredients they put in these things, these drugs that they prescribe us, they impact us negatively, whether you want to believe or you don't. We weren't born like needing to take like a drug that was man-made with like over 20 ingredients. And like, if I'm telling you right now, I can look at the back of like a prescription drug, and when you read those ingredients, you can't even pronunciate the words that are at the back of that ingredients list. Talk less about identify which one you've seen before, and then even worse, tell me exactly what each ingredient how each ingredient benefits you, and how each one negatively impacts you, etc. The causes of it, the long-term effects. Instead of a doctor or a nurse or a general practitioner or a dentist, well, I mean, some dentists are good, but instead of them saying, oh, maybe you should go check out your diet, maybe you've got some like stress that's clogged up and you need to practice meditation, because mouth hygiene is literally, and this isn't from my own mouth hygiene, and I wrote down some things today, because usually I don't manage to get everything that I want to speak about out, and mouth hygiene is actually the most important thing to improve, that's close to your brain health, just your health in general. Mouth hygiene is so important. People that have good mouth hygiene live longer than people that don't. So I just wanted to take you back to when I was younger and how it kind of started. Then I obviously started improving my diet and just reading, educating myself gradually as I got older, and I started reversing effects. Like, I became more calm, more self-aware, more intuitive, and I'm very grateful, and I can only be grateful to one person, God, because at the end of the day, I always prayed for wisdom, I always prayed for intelligence, and he always put the right people around me. He always gave me the right resources. It's not my own will. Like, I didn't do this all by myself, so I am grateful to God for that reason. So why you should improve your brain health, why you should improve your brain. So the first thing, of course, is exercise, getting cardio, specifically cardio, because you're allowing your blood to flow to that area. You're renewing the blood, the oxygen in that area of your brain. Because obviously you've got muscles, you've got like fat, tissues, so many stems of organs, so many stems of veins and capillaries, so many things going on in your brain that, like, and also your brain is so active as well. So by exercising and doing cardio, it just debriefs it. It's like it almost resets it, or it's like it's hard to explain, but cardio is so good for your brain, and that's why it's heavily encouraged that you get 10 to 15 minutes of cardio every day, even if it's just a walk like around your apartment. I'm someone that does work from home. Other people that probably do work from home, they probably find it difficult to adjust to actually getting that exercise. And for people that obviously commute, well, you probably, like, if you're not driving and you're taking a train, then perfect. Like, you're getting probably like enough or sufficient amount of exercise. And for people that literally, like, their job involves moving around and physical activity, you can just tell, like, their brain health is usually a lot better than, unless their job involves a lot of like physically enduring or like stressful, like mental like if your job involves a lot of like mental stress or physical stress, then of course that will show as well. Like your brain, people will see it, because perception sometimes beats reality, which is a weird one in today's generation. But most people most people instantly judge people based on the perception of them, and the reality of the matter might be the opposite. But so cardio exercising is so important. There's a supplement called Gink Go biloba, so it's called Gink Go, GINKGO biloba, BILOBA, and that's the supplement, and it's actually recommended by Dr. Daniel Amen, and he is a heart surgeon, X-ray practitioner, and I think now he studies the brain, and that's literally his main focus. And he was saying how like psychiatrists need to study the brain more and be more well versed and trained in that specific area, because most of the time they just recommend resting and just taking a supplement prescribed from the pharmacy. So Ginkgo is the one and only supplement he recommended that can improve your brain health. But there are other things that you can take as well, like omega oil. So you could literally, if you just have fish oil as well, that's a good replacement for it. And also vitamin D as well. Vitamin D you can also get from the sun. So if you wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, usually the best time when it's sunrise, you can get that full vitamin D, and avoid being vitamin D deficient. And apparently the more sun exposure, so the more of the sun you get on your skin, and if possible, if you could take your socks off and walk on the ground, that will be even more like impactful. I don't personally do this. I wish I could. I like live in a strange neighborhood. Not really a strange, but like it would be strange for me to walk outside my door and like just just be naked, my shoes off, like people. Yeah, I don't have that like mental stoicism, should I say. So the next thing on my list, guys, is actually deep breaths, and that's nose breathing. And I did mention this in yesterday's video, where I was talking about meditation specifically. But deep breathing, so important for your brain, getting that oxygen into your brain. Just so like, there's just something about just getting a good amount of oxygen into your brain that just gives you that alertness, especially in the morning. It gives you that calmness, mental clarity. Also patience, and also when you're communicating or when you're socializing, you will tend to notice that you're more in the present moment. You're able to remember what's been said. You're more interactive, rather than just being like brain dead or having brain fog, where you literally, you're hearing what's being said. It's like almost someone sending you a message. You're seeing it, but you can't respond. And you're also forgetting what's being said as well to you. So like that brain fog, meditation, deep breathing through your nose can improve your mental clarity. There's too many benefits to deep breathing. Like if you're gonna implement any of these changes that I've recommended, I would highly recommend you improve deep breaths, 10 minutes a day, 15-20 minutes, and that will that's what massively fixed my mental health, and that's why I'm so much more of a calmer person, more focused, more like I would say more self-aware as well. So that definitely improved that. Like I remember I never even used to notice things in my peripherals, but now I'm like actually able to identify things with my peripheral vision. Peripheral vision is the vision. So I forgot what the other vision is called, but like when I'm focused on one thing, that's like that's like my main vision, like my focus point. And peripheral vision would be anything else out of the segment of that focus thing I'm focusing on. So everything else that surrounds my vision of that focus thing would be peripheral vision. And usually to identify it as peripheral vision, it would usually be like blurry. So like everything else in the outside area would be blurry, but I can actually notice these things like more sufficiently as opposed to before. So the next thing on my list is journaling negative thoughts. So I would recommend going a step further and actually gratitude journaling. So journaling your negative thoughts can just put all the negative energy, the things that put you down or remind you of things that put you down. It could just be all put on a piece of paper, and it's almost like you've taken that weight off your chest. It's like almost like the paper has taken that burden, and it does really help. And it's almost like you can visualize your thoughts, so that way you can actually like read your thoughts rather than just your thoughts being in your mind. So it's like now that those thoughts have been put on paper, so they're just something that just takes away the stress of like knowing it only, as opposed to like actually writing it down. And yeah, it's like you can visualize it. There's something, I can't really go into the science behind that, but there's just something about visualizing your thoughts that can really improve your mind. And also gratitude journaling is where you write down a list of things that you're grateful for. And if you want, you can go into more depth. Like, I am grateful for this thing because it has allowed me to improve in this way. So like, I am grateful for waking up today because I wanted to see a new day, and I'm so excited to prepare for the day ahead of me, or to see this specific person, or to go to this specific place. So just gratitude journaling, and then going the extra mile and like putting more depth into what you're grateful for is very important. Now guys, I'm really like usually I'm like more comedic and energetic, but I literally just I've been a bit like down recently, so do bear with me. The next thing on my list, guys, is good sleep hygiene and also good sleep. So good sleep hygiene would be, where are you resting? Are you turning all the lights off at night? Are you avoiding eating like an hour or two before bed? Or like, I think it's an hour. Like just all these things. Are you showering before bed? Or what are you wearing before bed? Like, are you keeping your like loose fitted clothing, or are you just literally just jumping in bed naked, which is probably the best? Are you well hydrated? Have you cleared your mind of thoughts, prayed, been grateful? Like just all these things improve your sleep hygiene. And then good sleep would just be like how many hours of REM sleep are you getting, which is rapid eye movement, which is basically just deep sleep. How many hours of deep sleep are you getting? And for a, let's say like a 8-hour night, 4 hours REM, 4 hours deep sleep is usually the recommended. So if you're sleeping 7 hours, you're most likely like getting less sleep. Most people need about 7 to 9 hours. I would recommend being in bed, like as a recommendation, not to say that I do this, but as a recommendation, I would say getting 10 hours of sleep is the perfect amount, because then it's 1 hour to get into 1 hour to like be in bed and try to get to sleep. Then obviously it's gonna take like 30 minutes, let's just say, to actually sleep and like be in deep sleep, or like the beginning stages of deep sleep. And then of course when you're gonna be moving, wake, like turning, talking, whatever, coughing whilst in your sleep. So all these things affect. So these are just literally minus from, so we're already at like 8 hours 30 minutes, let's just say, all the talking and stuff like that. And let's say you wake up in the middle of the night, and let's say also you wake up earlier, so now it's adjusted all the way down to like 8 hours of, like, you've been in bed for 8 hours. Obviously you've been in bed for 10 hours, but you've actually like tried to sleep for like 8 hours, and you've probably got 4 or 5 hours REM if possible. That's like amazing. So there is an app I use called Sleep Cycle, and it is a very good app, and I would highly recommend you to get it. It is £35 a year, but it's worth it because it shows you so many things. It shows you, it literally records your sleep, so you can wake up and see if you, what, when you coughed, what time you was in deep sleep, what time you was snoring and stuff like that, when you moved your head, when you was awake. Like, it shows you everything. It's an amazing app, and I would highly recommend you to get it. So the next thing on my list, guys, is actually dark chocolate. Now this is quite a like off-topic one, but obviously, one, you don't want to, dark chocolate is probably the healthiest chocolate to eat. And secondly, dark chocolate, when you take dark chocolate, it alerts your brain that something fun is going to happen. So let's say you're about to do something fun. If you eat dark chocolate, it literally alerts your brain that you're about to do something fun. So just, I'm not really a dark chocolate fan, but of course I'm gonna educate, so I will let you know that. So for all you dark chocolate lovers, enjoy, especially when it's you know, when you're about to get it down. If you know, you know. Also, guys, saunas and massages. So a sauna is a place, of course, where you go inside. It's super hot in there. Like, you've just come out of the shower to walk inside. You sit down, and you start sweating, and then you come out, have a shower, go back in, etc., etc. Usually I would recommend, if you're a man, getting like a wet flannel, or even better, like an ice pack, and just put it in your private area, just because because heat apparently reduces your testosterone. So you don't want to obviously like reduce your testosterone and stuff like that, because that's like the most important thing to us men. That's what make men men. And also, so saunas, and also massages. So massages are so important, once again, for the blood circulation. Massages are just so therapeutic, and of course they relieve stress, so it's good for your mind. Also good for your mind, for circulation in that mind area, or the temple. Like, there's a spot like behind your head. Like, if that place gets, you could do it yourself, literally. It's like right here, like just underneath the bone at the back of your head. Like, if you massage that area, apparently that's like a stress reliever. So massages, of course. So go treat yourself, go book a misuse, and get a full body massage, get a face massage, hop in the sauna after. Like, go treat yourself once a month, once every 2 weeks, if possible, like multiple times a week, if you have the money like that. But that is so important, and I would highly recommend that. Also, if you do not have heart problems, I would recommend cold ice baths, or like just cold showers and stuff like that. Once again, if you do not have heart problems, then yeah, feel free to take like 5-minute cold showers and stuff like that. Have a ice bath. So good for restoration, for your brain, getting rid of fatigue, giving you energy, improving your spirit, your mood. So many benefits, blood flow. It's literally, there's too many benefits to ice baths, and that's why I would highly recommend them. I stick more to cold showers. I need to actually have an ice bath. I've never really had an ice bath before, but I usually just stick to cold showers. And so that is actually my list of things. But before I finalize, I just wanted to let you know about Bright Minds. And this was a list of things that Daniel Amen, the brain surgeon, he was actually on Stephen Bartlett's podcast. So feel free to go watch that after this. And so I'm just going to break it down, just maybe go into a little bit of detail, because there's a few things on Bright Minds that I don't really know. So Bright Minds would obviously just be like BRIGHT, Minds MINDS, and each word, each letter symbolizes a specific phrase or word. So the first one is B, which is blood flow, and of course I emphasize that improving your blood, getting more, like improving your circulating that blood flow, drinking water, breathing, exercising, all these things improve your blood flow. Massages, saunas, cold showers, all these things improve. Also taking ginkgo biloba, omega oil, vitamin D, all these things improve blood flow. And it's so important. If you want to improve your mental health, your brain, then of course improve your blood flow. And the more things that restrict blood flow, just avoid them. So like alcohol, there's other things as well, but just avoid things that are restricting blood flow. So like being too sedentary, like just doing nothing all day. It is nice to do nothing every once in a while, but just like all the time can actually negatively impact you. Retirement, so BR, retirement, and this just means retirement and aging. This just means essentially every single day, just because you're getting older, you might think you're too old. Always be learning, keep learning every single day. And apparently, like, people that stop learning, they also stop growing. But the people that keep learning keep growing, and growing in a good way. So hopefully hopefully you don't want to stop growing. If you do want to stop growing your brain, your mind, then stop learning. So keep learning. Inflammation, so this goes back to, so BRI, inflammation, and this goes back to what I was saying about mouth hygiene, and of course improving your teeth, brushing your teeth, flossing your teeth, using like mouthwash, tongue scraping for your tongue. All these things improve your mouth hygiene, and that will also in return improve your brain. And then you have genetics, so G, so don't blame your genetics. Everything can be improved. Obviously there's some case by case scenarios where like you literally can't avoid like hair like your hair and stuff like that, but like everything else can be improved. Your skin, your brain, blood circulation, your growth, all these things can be improved just by your diet and just utilizing a few exercises, breathing and stuff like that. So don't stop blaming your genetics, because that makes no sense. Head trauma, so obviously head trauma has a massive impact on your brain. And let's say, for example, the most like apparently this sport is where people literally live the least okay, so they live the I always get like certain points when I'm like trying to think of a word, like a specific word, and then my mind just goes blank. But these people tend to not live the longest, and it's actually footballers, and it's because of like head injuries and stuff, like also boxers as well. But people that play sports like table tennis and tennis, they tend to live longer, because they're less likely to use or get impact on their head. So like obviously football, you're headering the football, the football might someone might boot the football in your face or your head, and then that causes more. Boxing, of course, mixed martial arts, like several punches to your head, grappling, restricting of blood, like punches to your nose, your vital areas. Of course, you're gonna impact your mental health, and this is why most of these people do get like Alzheimer's and stuff like that, which is quite sad. And that actually kind of put me off boxing a little bit, because I was kind of like, I'm more of a long-term thinker. So with my long-term mindset, I want to obviously improve. I want to make sure I can maintain my brain for my offspring. And the next thing is toxins. So obviously, literally fried food, fizzy drinks that are like overpopulated with sugars, just anything that's like overly processed, just at least minimize or just cut it down completely, because these things are not good for you. Of course, they're called toxins for a reason. So like drugs, stuff like that. And then moving on to minds. So mental health, of course, literally pretty much everything I've mentioned in this video it improves your mental health. But like going back to like breathing, deep breaths, taking more care of your diet, sleep hygiene, stuff like this, drinking more water, showering, keeping yourself clean and stuff like that. These will improve your mental health. Immunity, so obviously once again, diet, so like vitamin C, so eating more oranges, fruits that are strong, like high in vitamin C. These things can obviously prevent you from getting diseases and stuff like that. And also prevention is better than cure. If you're cutting down on the ultra processed foods, then naturally your body is going to be immune to like colds and stuff like that. And also if you're taking like cold showers and stuff like that, really good for your health. So the next thing on the list, I'm not too sure what it is. I did research it and I still have no clue. What neurohormone deficiencies. So I'm assuming this is just like, neuro is obviously your brain, hormone is like emotional like reaction and stuff like that, like due to your sex and stuff like that. And deficiency is obviously a lack of. So it probably just means a lack of like mental hormones. And of course this goes all literally, if you implement all the positive things that I've mentioned in this video, you're less likely to have these neurohormone deficiencies. But some people are born with them, some people get them over time in life. And I do believe truly that most of the time it's due to how their environment, what they're putting into their system, PTSD and stuff like that. So, and all these things, personally, I think you can improve. The next thing is diabetes. Now, this is just essentially fats. I'm not too sure what diabetes is, but it sounds like diabetes. So I'm assuming just cut down on eating too much sugar, too much fats, because salts as well, and just try to balance things in life. Eat healthy as much as you can, and yeah, that would probably avoid diabetes. And finally, sleep issues. So obviously I've mentioned improving your sleep health, turning on the lights at night so your brain can be like actually acknowledging that soon you need to go bed and stuff like that. And that is pretty much my list of things for how you can improve your brain. Hopefully someone has found some benefit. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel so other people can watch it. Other people just like you can watch it, and there can be more people that are educated just like you. I think literally all you need to do is press one red button and more people can be like, yo, oh, this video is good, and learn the exact same thing you did. So rather than sharing, if you're not someone that likes to share videos, just subscribe and YouTube will do the rest. Like the video, so of course the algorithm can, we want to hack the algorithm. We want to see growth. And comment if you, just comment anything, whatever you want, just comment down below in the comment section. But it's been your boy Paul Khadar. Hopefully someone has found some value from this. I definitely have. You know what they say, the teacher usually learns the most. So it's been your boy Paul Khadar. Love you guys all. Take care. We out. Peace.